This is KGW News at noon.
We start here at noon with breaking news in Vancouver. We've been covering a fire at the Smith Tower. That's the big circular building just north of the interstate bridge that you see right here. Vancouver police posted pictures on their Facebook page a little earlier. What we know right now is that this fire is out. That's the last report we got. But we also know that a couple of roads in downtown Vancouver right by the tower are shut down because of this. So far, no word of any injuries or what may have caused this fire. Again, these are some of those pictures posted by Vancouver police on Facebook. A fire at the Smith Tower in downtown Vancouver that is reportedly out at this point, but it may still be causing some traffic issues in downtown Vancouver this afternoon. Thanks for joining us here at noon. I'm Drew Carney. We do want to get to some other local headlines here this afternoon, and we start with this. A strike could be happening at Oregon's 7 public universities soon. The union that is, representing 4,600 workers at those schools, declared an impasse in negotiations this morning. The workers include everyone from cooks and janitors to advisors and maintenance staff. The two sides have been negotiating since last fall, and the main sticking point remains pay. Now that an impasse has been declared, both sides have to submit their final contract proposals by next Friday. The university side of the bargaining table released a statement today that says, in part, while we're hopeful a strike won't happen, plans are being developed by each university in the event that there is a work stoppage. We're also covering the ongoing negotiations between teachers and schools in the SalemKaiser district. That district has about a week to go over the latest contract proposal from the teachers union. After almost a year of negotiations, the union gave what it says is its final bargaining proposal to the district yesterday. Two of the key sticking points that is here remain class sizes and teacher schedules, including specific concerns over some teachers becoming part-time employees. The district didn't get back to us for an interview on this latest proposal, but the SalemKaiser superintendent told us before that the district does not want to make teachers part-time. We did hear from the president of the teachers union.
If our district is not able to come with reasonable solutions for the last 4 articles that we have on the table, then that means we will take a strike vote and we will be prepared to walk out.
If the two sides can't reach a deal here, the union says teachers could walk out as soon as early April. The next bargaining session is scheduled for next Thursday. All right, let's take a break from local headlines for just a minute for this beautiful shot from Astoria. Oh, by the way, Grant's Getaways this week here at noon. About 10 minutes from now, all about Astoria, Rod Hill. But right now, you're talking about the forecast.
I mean, what are the odds of it being as clear when Grant was there as it is right now? That was a beautiful picture. And I like to say that this is almost always true. Boy, if it's sunny and clear and nice in Astoria, it's nice across our entire region. Almost always true. Here's Cannon Beach, just south down the coast a little bit, of course. Haystack Rock, beautiful sunshine and not too shabby. A light south wind and a temperature of 54 degrees. It's clear out in Hood River. That's Mount Adams just sticking up right there. All the snow is gone that they had on the ground at Cathedral Ridge Winery for so long. This is a spot going into Monday morning that could at least see some snow showers and the chance of some Monday morning, Tuesday morning snow shower accumulation. Downtown Portland, clear blue, 51. It's about where we were yesterday. And yesterday, we hit 60, so I think we at least do 60 this afternoon. Could be 62 for a high, 51 for a delightful evening. Now, coming up, it's way back in here off the Aleutian Island chain out of Alaska, but that's where our front is building. We've got some cloudiness ahead of it that starts to spill in tomorrow, but all eyes continue to be on falling snow levels Sunday overnight into Monday morning. We'll talk more about that coming up.
All right, Rob, we look forward to that here in about 15 minutes. Right now, some national headlines to get to. This morning, President Biden officially announced over 500 sanctions against targets connected to Russia's war in Ukraine and the death of Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny. The president met with Navalny's widow and daughter yesterday. The sanctions are aimed at Russia's core financial infrastructure and at individuals in other countries that the U.S. says have been giving aid to Russia. Companies from China, Germany, Serbia, and elsewhere are being targeted not only by the U.S., but also by Canada, the European Union, and the United Kingdom. It's still not clear, though, what type of impact these sanctions will have exactly. Back here at home, Washington is mailing out presidential primary ballots today. If you're a Washington voter, you do have to declare party affiliation in order for your vote to count. Ballots in the state are due by March 12th. That's 2.5 weeks from now. Oregon's presidential primary is still a couple of months away in May. Meanwhile, the state Senate in Washington voted overwhelmingly to make harassing election workers a state felony. The bill comes around 3 months after 4 county elections offices received envelopes with suspicious powder in them. It's also part of a wave of legislation ahead of the 2024 presidential election that looks to increase protections for election workers who face a growing number of threats. The bill would increase the penalty for harassing a worker from up to 1 year in jail to as many as 5 years in prison. It would also give workers the ability to opt into a state-run program that's designed to keep their addresses a secret. In order to pass, this measure still needs a second review by the State House before heading to Governor Jay Inslee's desk. South Carolina's Republican primary, meanwhile, set for tomorrow. It's the next showdown for former President Donald Trump and his last remaining challenger in the party, Nikki Haley. South Carolina is worth 50 delegates. Right now, the former president leads the way on the presidential primary trail with 63 delegates to Nikki Haley's 17. The issue of reproductive rights has taken center stage ahead of tomorrow's South Carolina primary, with both candidates weighing in on a controversial Supreme Court ruling in Alabama on in vitro fertilization. For more on this, we turn to NBC News' legal correspondent Laura Jarrett.
Growing frustration this morning across Alabama as more patients in the middle of fertility treatments are learning their doctors are holding off on IVF, worried they could get sued because of a controversial new court ruling. Some couples even making the difficult decision to leave the state.
We found a clinic that will take us in Texas.
After 3 miscarriages, Gabby Goydell says her doctors recommended she have her embryos genetically tested to boost her chances of a healthy pregnancy.
I'm not stopping this cycle. I've already been through too many shots, already invested too much time and energy.
But what happens to embryos found with genetic abnormalities? Typically, they're not implanted and usually discarded. Others found not viable after the thaw process. It's all got fertility clinics on edge after the Alabama Supreme Court found frozen embryos no different than children, potentially putting clinics on the hook legally for their survival.
As soon as I saw the number pop up on my phone, I knew it wasn't going to be good news.
After spending nearly $250,000 on fertility treatments and a surrogate, Megan and Walker Cole were devastated to learn their fertility clinic not only canceled their embryo implantation this week, but say their clinic would not give them their frozen embryos to use outside the state.
So even though these are apparently my children, I don't have access to them.
Meanwhile, Alabama Supreme Court Chief Justice Tom Parker under scrutiny for invoking God in the court decision. This new reality in Alabama creating a politically perilous issue in an election year.
I think it was a terrible ruling.
Presidential hopeful Nikki Haley trying to clarify where she stands.
We don't want fertility treatments to shut down.
One more note to this story. That was Laura Jarrett, by the way, reporting. Doctors across the nation say they're worried about the wider implications of this Alabama ruling. They warn it could make it significantly harder and more expensive for couples to get access to fertility treatment.